Knock knock.
Who's there?
The UN.
You and who?
The you and me and international cooperation. Hello, I'm Michael Jing, and I'm here today to talk about international cooperation. So first of all, what is it? The definition for it is the interaction of persons or groups of persons representing various nations in pursuit of a common goal. And I have 3 articles for you today to help explain international cooperation. So the 3 articles are from the CBC, the UN, and the Washington Post. And I believe they are all very credible sources. So first of all, from the CBC News, we have Canada's foreign and aid spending still below OECD average after budget boost. So the article basically talks about increase in Canadian international assistance development budget, and but even though we have a lot of increase, it is still not enough because it's less than 2% and will be overpowered by inflation. And the ODA, official development assistance for Canada, is about 0.26% of our gross national income, and that comes about roughly $4.1 million. But that's not enough because the average ODA is 0.32% for all the other OECD countries. So we're a long way away from the other countries. And the money is used for international development, for example, developing countries. And the article talks about our future goals, like increase our budget by 15%. So that article was for international cooperation because it encourages more budget spending for developing countries. So next, from the UN, is the importance of international cooperation. Legal conventions stressed as CERT committee's continuous discussion of drugs crime. So this article talks about the combating of crime from the UN. And the UN doesn't just combat drugs and crime, they also do a lot of other stuff, like implement law, social progress, encourage diplomacy, improving living standards, and promoting human rights. And they do so by implementing laws or joint international cooperation. So we can see that this one is for international cooperation as well, because the UN does a lot to help the world. And finally, from the Washington Post, we're in an era of international cooperation against terrorism. Is that good or bad? So a quote from the article: international security cooperation may develop without regard for privacy, transparency, and accountability, and cooperating on policing and intelligence may not be enough without also trying to fix the conditions that foster extremism in the first place. So to explain that, it basically says too much helping can lead to a negative effect. So these European terrorism attacks led to a lot of increase in police forces. And this could be a bad thing because it limits people's privacy, accountability. So this one is against international cooperation because too much helping, too much cooperating, too much working together could be a bad thing. So in my opinion, the Canadian government shouldn't spend so much on international cooperation because
we should put
ourselves first. Canada is on the verge of an economic crisis because of the new trade war with the US. They stopped purchasing steels and aluminum from us, and maybe a lot of other products soon after. So we should focus on helping ourselves first. So we can use that $4.1 billion and build our infrastructure and improve our economy. And then, when we're better off, we can help the developing countries. And as the article in the Washington Post says too much helping is not helping. Maybe by choosing not to help those developing countries, they will be better off by themselves. That's why the Canadian government shouldn't spend so much on international cooperation.